Michelle or Michael?
I usually go by Michael, not Michelle, but there we go. Thank you. Usually, not always, but that's okay. I can't think that Carla asked me to speak about anything particularly, maybe just my reflections. So I'm going to pick up what Amy talked to us just before lunch about Canada's 150th coming up and these 3 words of strong, proud, and free. And for me, being in this movement, strength for us, I think, is about connections. And we also show the strength of our own vulnerabilities through caring and being willing to display or divulge or admit limitations and barriers. I think of the work of Jean Vanier, and that we live in a society that privileges competitiveness and strength in certain ways. And our movement really is a reminder to Canadians that there's other ways of thinking about strength. The strength of compassion, the strength of showing your vulnerabilities, the strength of humor and laughter and just being silly, which I do a lot of practicing on that. Thank you for nodding, Jackie. Proud. I'm delighted to see that we want to kind of widen up that notion. We often talk about pride in terms of sharing stories, telling stories, remembering our history, acknowledging the civil rights journey that we've been on, and the challenge of passing it along. But I'm hearing today pride in terms of diversities and reaching out and partnering with other groups and using celebrations like 150th as a time to really, again, it's a teachable moment about what does pride mean. Finally, freedom. Freedom historically was thought of as leave me alone. You know, a very kind of 18th, 19th century definition of freedom was let the monarchy leave me alone, let the church leave me alone, let these traditional institutions get out of my way so I can do my thing. That's still a very powerful expression. We sometimes call it liberty, and that's the way particularly Americans define freedom. Canadians define freedom in a different way. Freedom is with other people. It's not a separateness, it's not an isolation. In fact, one of the best ways to be unfree is to be abandoned, marginalized, and isolated. So freedom for Canadians is about, again, connections. It's about pride, but it's about rights and justice. You cannot be free if you are not living in a just society. And again, looking to next May with the provincial election, it's our chance to share the messages with other British Columbians about what strength means to our movement, what pride means to our movement, and what freedom means. And they all mean community and connections, compassion, but rights and justice. Thank you.